Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to talk about the signs that signal your breakthrough is just around the corner. You've been waiting, praying, and believing, but God's timing is always perfect. As you walk through this journey, there are certain signs that will manifest in your life, signs that will confirm your breakthrough is not only near, but it's inevitable. The first sign you'll experience is a profound shift within your spirit. It's something you can't explain, but it's real. You'll feel an excitement deep inside of you, a sense of anticipation, even when nothing around you has changed. It's a stirring, a knowing that God is about to move in a mighty way in your life. This internal shift is the first indicator that your breakthrough is coming, even before you see it with your eyes. As you wait for your breakthrough, life may seem uncertain. The challenges may intensify and the road ahead might look unclear. Yet, in the midst of all the chaos, you will experience a peace that surpasses understanding. This peace will be unshakable and will reassure you that God is orchestrating everything behind the scenes. When you have peace in the middle of your storm, it's a powerful sign that something is about to shift for you. When your breakthrough is on the way, you will begin to see events align in a way that you cannot explain. People, circumstances, and opportunities will come together as if by divine orchestration. What once seemed impossible will now seem inevitable, and you will recognize that God is at work. This is the time when doors open that no one thought could open, and opportunities arise that you had never imagined. Whenever your breakthrough is approaching, opposition intensifies. This is not a sign to give up. It's a sign that you're about to experience the greatest victory of your life. The enemy will try to stop what God is about to do, but his efforts will only serve as confirmation that God's plans are unstoppable. In fact, the greater the opposition, the nearer your breakthrough is. It's a divine indicator that God's hand is on you, and nothing can thwart his plans. Another sign that your breakthrough is near is the emergence of new opportunities. These opportunities will seem too good to be true, but God is opening doors that no man can shut. You'll begin to see windows of possibility that didn't exist before. These opportunities will feel tailor-made for your purpose, and they will be a clear confirmation that your breakthrough is imminent. As you approach your breakthrough, you'll begin to notice something old. Relationships, habits, and attachments start to fall away. It's as if God is clearing the way for something new. These losses, while painful, are actually divine removals. God is preparing you for the new season, and sometimes that means letting go of what no longer serves you. When old things fall away, it's a sign that your breakthrough is making room for a new chapter. As your breakthrough approaches, you will feel an overwhelming urge to step out in faith, even when everything around you says it's not the right time. This faith-filled action might seem risky, but it is exactly what you need. God will begin to lead you into new territory, and though the path may not always be clear, your faith will be the key to unlocking your breakthrough. The urge to step out in faith is a direct sign that the breakthrough is already in motion. There is something deeply transformative that happens within a person when their breakthrough is drawing near. Before you see the evidence of it in the natural realm, you will feel it in your spirit. This is the first and often most profound sign that your breakthrough is on the horizon, the stirring within you. It's a subtle yet undeniable shift that occurs on the inside, far beyond anything you can articulate or explain. It's a knowing that something is changing, that the season you've been waiting for is about to emerge. This shift isn't always dramatic, nor is it always accompanied by loud voices or grand events. Often it begins with a quiet stirring, a subtle excitement in your heart that you may not fully understand at first, but you can feel it. It's as though your spirit has been awakened to something that lies just ahead, something that only you can sense, even though it may not be visible to others. There's a sense of expectation, a deep awareness that the life you've been living, the struggles you've been enduring, and the challenges you faced are not the final chapter. You may still be in the same place physically, but spiritually you feel that something big is coming. This internal shift is significant because it signifies that you're no longer in the same place you were yesterday. You're being prepared for what lies ahead. This feeling can manifest in various ways. Sometimes it feels like you're walking with purpose even when you don't know exactly where you're going. Sometimes it's a quiet confidence that settles in your heart, reassuring you that no matter how uncertain the circumstances are, something is changing. It might be accompanied by an unusual calmness or a deep sense of peace that seems to flow through you when everything around you is chaotic. It's as if your spirit has already received confirmation that God is moving and the answer to your prayers is closer than you think. The beauty of this internal shift is that it happens long before the breakthrough is visible. It is a spiritual assurance that God is already working behind the scenes, orchestrating everything in your favor. This is when you begin to realize that breakthrough is not just about what you can see with your eyes or touch with your hands. It's about what God is doing within you first. Your spirit is being prepared for what is to come. Just like a seed must first undergo a transformation inside the soil before it breaks through to the surface, your breakthrough begins with this internal stirring. Your spirit is being positioned to receive the blessing that is on its way. For some, this stirring may come as an intense desire for something more. It could be a yearning for a greater purpose, a deeper connection with God, or a sense that your life is meant for something greater than what you've experienced so far. You might start feeling restless in your current situation, even though everything appears fine on the outside. That sense of dissatisfaction is not a negative feeling, it's a sign that your spirit is being awakened to the next level. You may feel drawn to step out of your comfort zone, to take a risk, or to try something new that you wouldn't have considered before. This new yearning, this unshakable desire for something greater, is often a sign that you're about to experience a breakthrough. Other times, this shift might come in the form of an unexplainable peace. Despite the struggles, despite the unanswered prayers and the waiting, you suddenly feel a deep peace that assures you everything is going to be okay. You might find yourself at peace in the middle of a storm when circumstances would naturally cause worry or anxiety. This peace is not based on what's happening around you, it's based on what's happening within you. Your spirit knows that something is changing, even when your mind cannot yet comprehend it. This internal stirring and shift are incredibly powerful because they change the way you approach life. You no longer live in the same way you did before. Even if your circumstances haven't changed, you begin to move differently, think differently, and feel differently. Your mindset shifts from one of uncertainty to one of expectation. You start to anticipate good things because your spirit is telling you that something good is coming your way. The shift within you is not just a sign of what's about to happen, it is a catalyst for the breakthrough itself. As you experience this shift, it's important to trust what's happening inside of you, even when you can't yet see the results. The feelings of anticipation, excitement, and peace are all signs that God is working in the unseen realm. This stirring within you is not something you can manufacture, it's a divine work. It's a reminder that your breakthrough is not dependent on your external circumstances, but on the timing and plan of God. When you sense this shift in your spirit, remember that it is a divine confirmation that God is preparing you for something greater. In this season of waiting, hold on to this internal shift. Let it fuel your faith and deepen your trust in God's timing. Know that your spirit is being aligned with what is coming. And this stirring within you is the first evidence that your breakthrough is already in motion. God is preparing you even before the visible signs appear for what He has in store. As you walk through life, you may often find yourself in moments of uncertainty where the world around you seems to be spinning in all directions. You may face challenges, disappointments, and obstacles that make you question whether things will ever change. But in the midst of these chaotic moments, one of the most powerful signs that your breakthrough is near is the unexplainable peace that enters your heart. It's a peace that transcends understanding, a quiet assurance that calms the storm within, even when everything outside seems to be in turmoil. This peace is not of this world, and it's not something that can be easily explained. It's a divine peace that comes from knowing deep in your spirit that God is in control and that your breakthrough is coming regardless of your present circumstances. Peace in this context is not the absence of problems or challenges. It's not a life free from pain or difficulty. In fact, it often arises in the very moments when things are at their most chaotic. You may be in the midst of a financial struggle, a relationship breakdown, or a season of waiting for something you've longed for. And yet, despite all of this, you will experience a peace that goes beyond what you can reason or explain. This peace is not based on what you can see or understand with your natural mind. It's based on an inner knowing that God is working behind the scenes, orchestrating every detail of your life for good. It's the kind of peace that doesn't make sense to others and sometimes even to yourself, but it's a peace that you feel deep within, and it assures you that everything will be okay in the end. When this peace begins to settle over your life, you will feel as though you've entered a state of calm. Even in the face of adversity, you will notice that your heart is no longer troubled in the same way it once was. The worry that once gripped you begins to lose its hold, replaced by a deep sense of confidence and trust in God's ability to bring about His plans for your life. This peace will allow you to rest in the midst of the storm, knowing that God is doing something new within you, even if you can't yet see it with your eyes. The beauty of this divine peace is that it serves as a reminder that your breakthrough is imminent. When God is about to bring about change in your life, He doesn't leave you in a state of confusion or anxiety. Instead, He gives you a peace that lets you know that His timing is perfect and that what you've been praying for is about to manifest. You may not have all the answers and you may not understand the timing, but this peace confirms that God is working things out for your good. It's a peace that allows you to move forward with courage, even when everything around you tells you to retreat or give up. This peace is also a shield for your heart. When life feels like it's falling apart, it's easy to become overwhelmed by fear, doubt, and anxiety. You may begin to question whether you'll ever make it through. But when the peace of God settles over you, it guards your heart and mind. It protects you from the negativity and worry that might otherwise try to take root in your life. This peace provides clarity in the midst of confusion and helps you to stay focused on the promise ahead, rather than the temporary setbacks you may be facing. It's a reminder that the battle is not yours alone, but God's, and He is more than capable of winning it on your behalf. In those moments when it feels like your breakthrough is delayed or out of reach, the peace that God provides will be a constant anchor for your soul. It's easy to lose hope when the answers aren't coming as quickly as you would like, but this peace will keep you steady. It reminds you that God's timing is perfect and His plan for your life is far greater than what you can see in the present moment. This peace helps you to let go of the need for control and trust that God is working things out in His perfect time. Sometimes this peace will come after a period of struggle when you've been wrestling with doubt and fear. It's almost as though in that moment God is telling you that you've done the hard work of surrendering your worries and anxieties to Him. And now He is releasing His peace over your life, confirming that your breakthrough is near. It's the peace that allows you to trust even when the circumstances seem bleak. The peace that lets you know that God is going to make a way where there seems to be no way. The unexplainable peace that comes as a sign of your breakthrough is also a reflection of your growing trust in God. As you move through life, you begin to realize that your peace is not found in external circumstances, but in your relationship with God. When you rely on Him fully and surrender your concerns to Him, His peace will guard your heart and mind. This peace is a reflection of His faithfulness and His promise to be with you always. It's a reminder that no matter what you face, God is working on your behalf and your breakthrough is certain. One of the most profound signs that your breakthrough is on the horizon is the sudden, undeniable increase in divine favor that begins to manifest in your life. This favor doesn't come because of anything you've done to earn it, nor is it tied to your own abilities or strengths. It is a gift from God, an unexplainable blessing that begins to surround you, often in ways that take you completely by surprise. Favor doesn't come as a result of what is seen on the outside, but it flows from the unseen, from God's love and His will to bless His children in unexpected ways. It's as though doors begin to open in places where you least expected them and opportunities emerge that were once out of reach. The increase in favor is a sign that God is positioning you for something greater, a breakthrough that will transform your life. When God begins to favor you, it's often subtle at first. It's not always about receiving immediate wealth or fame, but rather it can show up in the small things like people suddenly taking an interest in you, opportunities for promotion or advancement arising without explanation, or unexpected help showing up just when you need it most. It could come in the form of kind words from others, encouragement at just the right time, or opportunities that seem to come to you effortlessly. These small moments are a reflection of God's favor, and they are evidence that He is preparing you for the bigger blessings to come. It's a favor that moves you ahead of others, that causes things to fall into place even when you didn't have a clear plan. Favor also has a way of positioning you in places where you could never have imagined. People you've never met before begin to open doors for you. Relationships that once seemed distant become a source of strength and opportunity. It's as though God is bringing people into your life who will assist you, encourage you, and help you move forward. Favor surrounds you like a shield, protecting you from attacks, from rejection, and from failure. It's as though no matter what happens, you continue to experience a wave of blessings that push you closer to your breakthrough. This increase in favor can also be seen in the way resources seem to multiply when you need them. In times when you feel you have nothing, favor makes a way for provision to come from unexpected sources. You may not have the financial means to get through a season, yet somehow the right opportunities appear at the right time, whether it's an unexpected gift, an open job position, or help from someone who believes in your vision. This supernatural provision is a sign that God is preparing you for greater things. It's a reminder that your breakthrough isn't just about what you have in your hands, but what God is willing to provide for you in this season. Favor often comes as a means of preparation for what God has planned for you. When He begins to pour out favor, it's an indication that you are about to step into something that you couldn't have done on your own. It's like the favor is a precursor to the breakthrough that is coming, an opportunity to be stretched and expanded so that you can handle what God is about to release into your life. It's a season of transition where God is setting you up for something greater. The favor may feel overwhelming at times because it comes quickly and unexpectedly. But this is God's way of telling you that your time has come and He is about to do something extraordinary in your life. Moreover, favor often accompanies a period of unusual peace. It's as if everything begins to flow smoothly and obstacles that once seemed insurmountable suddenly appear to melt away. Challenges that used to weigh you down now seem less daunting, and you start to experience victories that once seemed unattainable. This divine favor removes roadblocks, eases tensions, and opens doors that had been closed for a long time. Even the most difficult situations begin to seem more manageable because God's favor is working on your behalf. It's a time when you sense that things are happening for you rather than against you, and you are being pushed forward into a season of fulfillment. God's favor also has the power to accelerate things in your life. What would normally take years to accomplish might suddenly take months, and what seemed like an impossible task might now seem achievable. Favor causes things to speed up, bringing the things that were once delayed to fruition. It's as though God is moving at a faster pace to bring you into alignment with His plan. This acceleration is a sign that your breakthrough is near and that God is aligning your life with His perfect timing. At the same time, favor begins to highlight your potential in ways that you may not have noticed before. Where you once felt invisible, you now find yourself being seen, heard, and valued. People begin to take notice of your talents, your character, and your contributions, even when you least expected it. The favor of God draws attention to your potential and brings you into positions where you can make a greater impact. Opportunities to share your gifts and talents become more abundant, and you find yourself in a place where your unique abilities are recognized and celebrated. This is God's way of confirming that you are being prepared for something significant and that your breakthrough is directly connected to the gifts and skills He has placed within you. It's not just about external opportunities, but about an internal shift that takes place as you begin to realize the depth of your purpose and how it fits into God's greater plan. With favor comes a sense of divine timing. Things start to fall into place at the perfect moment. You may have wondered when your breakthrough would come. But God's favor will reassure you that He has always been working behind the scenes, orchestrating the perfect timing for everything in your life. What may have seemed delayed in the past suddenly comes together, confirming that God's plans for you are far better than anything you could have imagined. This timing brings clarity, peace, and confirmation that the wait was not in vain, and that you are now walking into the fullness of God's will for your life. Ultimately, the increase in favor is a reflection of God's love and desire to bless you. It's not about anything you've done to deserve it, but it's a manifestation of His grace and goodness. As favor increases in your life, you can rest assured that it is a sign that your breakthrough is not only near, but that God is preparing you for something greater than you could ever have dreamed or imagined. This favor is a constant reminder that God is with you, guiding you and working things out on your behalf. It's an encouragement to stay faithful and to continue moving forward, trusting that the best is yet to come. When you begin to sense a deep stirring in your spirit, something profound is taking place within you. This stirring is often a sign that your breakthrough is closer than ever before. It's not a superficial feeling, but a powerful inner prompting that comes from God, urging you to step into a new season, to move forward with faith, and to embrace the changes that are about to unfold in your life. This stirring may not always make sense on the surface, but it is a divine nudge from God, letting you know that you are being positioned for something great. This feeling is often accompanied by a sense of urgency. It's as if something within you is calling you to take action, to begin preparing for the breakthrough that is about to occur. This stirring can manifest in various forms, such as a deep inner restlessness, an overwhelming desire to pray, or a renewed passion to pursue the dreams and goals you may have once put aside. It's a feeling that cannot be ignored. It keeps rising within you, urging you to move forward even when the road ahead is unclear. This stirring is a sign that God is about to activate something within you that will propel you into your breakthrough. You may find that your thoughts become more focused during this time. Your attention is drawn to things that once seemed insignificant or far off, and a sense of clarity begins to emerge. What once seemed like distractions or irrelevant details suddenly take on new meaning. And you start to see how everything is aligning for your breakthrough. It's as though God is giving you a glimpse of what's ahead, helping you understand the path you need to take. This stirring is a reminder that God's plans for you are unfolding. And even though you may not have all the answers, you are being guided step by step toward the breakthrough you've been praying for. In some cases, this stirring will come during moments of prayer or worship. It may start as a whisper in your heart, but as you spend time in God's presence, it intensifies. You begin to feel a heightened awareness of His presence, a sense that He is moving in your life in ways that you cannot yet fully comprehend. This stirring often becomes more pronounced as you approach the season of breakthrough, as God begins to prepare your heart for what's to come. It may feel like the Holy Spirit is prompting you to take action, to trust Him in a new way, and to step into the unknown with confidence. For some, this stirring can manifest in a renewed desire to serve others or to give of your time, talents, or resources. You may feel an overwhelming urge to step out in faith and do something you've never done before, or to take a step in a direction you have been hesitant to pursue. This is a divine stirring that moves you toward your breakthrough, often in the form of an action that requires courage, faith, and obedience. It's not just a mental knowing, it's a deep stirring in your spirit that compels you to act, even when the full picture is not yet clear. This stirring can also be linked to a sense of divine dissatisfaction with your current situation. You may find that you become increasingly uncomfortable in the place where you are, whether it's a job, a relationship, or a season of life. This restlessness is not a negative emotion, but a divine discomfort that signals God is preparing you for something new. It's a prompting that stirs you to rise up and pursue the purpose and calling God has placed on your life. The dissatisfaction is not a sign of failure, but a sign that God is about to move you from where you are to where He wants you to be. This stirring propels you forward, urging you to step out in faith and take action toward the breakthrough that awaits. As you respond to this stirring, you may begin to notice that the doors that once seemed shut begin to open. Opportunities that were once closed off or unattainable now seem to be within reach. This stirring aligns your heart with God's will and prepares you to walk through the doors He is opening. It's as if the very act of responding to this inner prompting causes the path ahead to become clearer. The breakthrough is not just about external circumstances changing, but about an internal shift in your spirit, a change in your mindset and attitude that positions you for the blessings God has in store. At times, this stirring will be accompanied by a sense of excitement. Even if you don't fully understand why, you may feel a surge of energy, a desire to take bold steps in areas of your life that previously felt stagnant. It's a feeling of being awakened, as if your soul is being stirred to action. This excitement is God's way of confirming that something is about to happen in your life and you are being prepared to receive it. While this stirring can be exciting, it can also bring about moments of fear or doubt. The unknown can be intimidating, and taking action when you don't fully understand what's ahead requires courage. But this stirring is designed to push you past your comfort zones and into the realm of faith. It encourages you to trust God even when the path is unclear, and to step out in obedience, knowing that He will guide you every step of the way. In these moments of stirring, it's essential to stay connected to God through prayer and worship. The more you lean into His presence, the clearer the stirring becomes. You begin to sense His guidance more acutely, and the direction for your breakthrough becomes more apparent. This stirring is not meant to be a passive experience, but an active invitation to align your heart with God's plans for your life. As you respond to His promptings, you will see how He begins to prepare you for the breakthrough that is just around the corner. One of the most powerful signs that your breakthrough is near is the overwhelming sense of peace and clarity that descends upon you, even in the midst of uncertainty or difficult circumstances. This peace isn't based on external conditions, but rather it flows from within, coming directly from God. It's a peace that surpasses all understanding, a peace that doesn't make sense in the natural world, but is unmistakable to those who are in tune with the Spirit. This divine peace serves as a confirmation that God is with you, that He is orchestrating everything in your life, and that your breakthrough is imminent. When God is about to bring about a significant breakthrough, one of the first things He does is calm your heart and mind. In moments when you should be feeling anxious or fearful about the future, you find yourself filled with a sense of calm assurance. This peace comes not from knowing all the details, but from trusting in the one who holds your future. It's the kind of peace that allows you to sleep soundly at night, even though you may not know how things will work out. It's a peace that shields you from the anxiety and stress that often accompany times of waiting or uncertainty. This divine peace often manifests itself in moments when you are struggling with doubt or confusion. In the middle of a storm, or when everything around you seems chaotic, you might experience a deep sense of stillness within. You may be facing overwhelming challenges, but God's peace calms the storm within your soul. It's a peace that reassures you that God is in control, that He has not forgotten you, and that He is working behind the scenes to bring your breakthrough to pass. It's a supernatural peace that carries you through tough times, allowing you to stand firm in the face of adversity. As God begins to move you closer to your breakthrough, the peace He provides allows you to gain clarity about your purpose and direction. In the midst of confusion or distractions, you find that God's peace clears your mind and gives you a sense of purpose. It's as if the fog that once clouded your thoughts begins to lift and you see things clearly. You begin to recognize that everything you've gone through, every struggle, every trial, and every delay has been part of God's plan to prepare you for the breakthrough you are about to experience. This clarity is a gift from God, a sign that you are on the right path, and that He is aligning everything in your life for His perfect timing. Sometimes this peace will come when you least expect it. You might be going through a season of waiting, wondering when the breakthrough will come, and then suddenly God will fill your heart with a deep sense of peace. This peace is not dependent on what you see happening in your life. In fact, it may seem contrary to your circumstances. You may be in a financial struggle, in a difficult relationship, or facing a challenge, but in the midst of it, a challenge, but in the midst of it all, God's peace will anchor your soul. It's a peace that enables you to rest, even when things around you are not ideal. This peace is a sign that God is working in the unseen realm, orchestrating your breakthrough, even when you can't yet see the results. This peace also empowers you to make decisions with confidence. When God is preparing you for a breakthrough, He doesn't leave you in a place of confusion or indecision. His peace provides guidance, enabling you to make choices that align with His will. You may find that decisions that once seemed difficult or unclear now feel easy and natural. God's peace helps you discern the right path, and it gives you the courage to take steps forward, even when the future is uncertain. When you feel God's peace, you know that you can trust Him with every decision, knowing that He will direct your steps. Moreover, this peace helps to protect you from external pressure. In a world filled with noise, distractions, and demands, it can be easy to get overwhelmed or pressured into making hasty decisions. But when God's peace is present in your life, it acts as a shield, keeping you from succumbing to the pressure of circumstances. You no longer feel the need to rush or force things to happen. Instead, you are able to wait with confidence, knowing that the right doors will open at the right time. This peace allows you to remain steady in the midst of uncertainty, knowing that your breakthrough is coming in God's perfect timing. There are also moments when God's peace will fill you with a sense of joy, even in the midst of waiting. It's a joy that is not dependent on your circumstances, but on your trust in God's goodness. Even when you don't yet see the answers, you experience a deep joy that comes from knowing that God is with you, that He is faithful, and that He is working on your behalf. This joy becomes a source of strength, helping you endure the waiting period and keeping your focus on the promise that God has made. Additionally, this peace is a reminder that God is in control of everything. When you experience this peace, it's a confirmation that God is not distant or disconnected from your life. He is actively involved, working all things together for your good. The peace He provides is an assurance that no matter what happens, you are never alone. God is with you, and His presence in your life is the key to navigating any situation with grace and confidence. As your breakthrough draws near, this peace will become even more evident. It will anchor you, stabilize you, and prepare you to step into the new season that God is bringing into your life. This peace is a divine gift, a sign that God's favor is upon you and that your breakthrough is closer than you think. It's a peace that fills every part of your being, transforming your outlook, your mindset, and your attitude, and preparing you for the extraordinary blessings that are about to unfold. When you begin to notice doors opening that were once shut tight, it becomes an undeniable sign that your breakthrough is on the horizon. These doors may come in various forms, such as new opportunities, relationships, or pathways that you never thought were possible. It may seem like everything is falling into place, but it's not just coincidence, it's divine intervention. God is orchestrating these open doors as a confirmation that the time for your breakthrough has arrived. Many times we find ourselves in seasons where it feels like every door is closed. We face rejection, obstacles, or challenges that leave us wondering if the dream we hold in our hearts will ever come to fruition. But when God is preparing to bring your breakthrough, He will begin to open doors that no one can shut. These open doors are not a sign of chance, but a divine confirmation that God is making a way for you, even when it seems impossible. At times, you may experience a series of unexpected opportunities that come your way. A job offer you never anticipated, a relationship that seems to align perfectly with your purpose, or a financial blessing that shows up just when you need it most. These open doors are not just random events, but God's way of signaling that He is at work in your life. What once seemed unattainable is now within your reach, and you can feel the momentum building as things begin to align. These opportunities are a sign that God is unlocking what has been hidden or delayed in your life, and He's preparing you to step into a new season. The key to understanding these open doors lies in recognizing that they are not just about the opportunities themselves, but about God's timing and purpose for your life. Sometimes it can feel like doors open at the most unexpected moments, often when we least expect them. It's during these times that we are reminded that God's timing is always perfect. You may have waited for years or prayed for something for a long time, but when the doors finally open, you realize that the wait was worth it. The timing is exactly right, and the breakthrough is aligned with God's greater plan for your life. Another important aspect of open doors is that they bring clarity and direction. When God opens a door for you, it's as if the fog that once clouded your path lifts and you can see clearly where you are headed. Sometimes we get caught up in wondering whether we are on the right path or if we are even making the right decisions. But when God is about to bring your breakthrough, He will begin to clear the way. The doors that open provide direction, showing you exactly where to go and what to do next. The uncertainty begins to fade, And you start to experience a sense of confidence and assurance that comes from knowing you are walking in alignment with God's will. As the doors begin to open, you may also notice that the obstacles you once faced seem to fade away. What once felt like insurmountable challenges or barriers no longer seem as intimidating. God will begin to remove the hindrances that stood in your way, clearing a direct path toward your breakthrough. You may find that people who once opposed you are now supporting you, or circumstances that once held you back are now falling into place. This is a sign that God is at work and His favor is upon you. These open doors are not always easy to walk through, and sometimes they require faith and courage. God may be asking you to step into the unknown, to trust Him in new ways, and to take a leap of faith. These doors may be intimidating because they lead to new places, new opportunities, and new responsibilities. But the peace and assurance you feel in your spirit will be the confirmation that God is leading you. The very act of walking through these doors becomes a declaration of your faith and trust in God's plan for your life. When God opens a door, He not only provides the opportunity, but also the strength and grace to walk through it.
Additionally, these open doors often come with a sense of favor and divine appointment. You may find that doors open in a way that seems too perfect to be a coincidence. Relationships form with ease, people offer help and support when you need it, and things seem to fall into place effortlessly. This is a sign that God's favor is upon you, guiding you and opening doors that no human effort could ever open. It's a reminder that your breakthrough is not solely dependent on your abilities, but on God's goodness and faithfulness. In some cases, open doors can also signify a new level of responsibility. When God opens doors, He is not just providing opportunities for comfort and ease, but He is preparing you for greater influence, impact, and purpose. You may find yourself stepping into roles or positions that require you to stretch and grow. The doors that open may require you to take on new challenges or responsibilities, but they will also bring new blessings and rewards. This is part of God's design for your life, as He equips you for the next phase of your journey and positions you to fulfill the calling He has placed on you. Furthermore, open doors are a confirmation that God has been preparing you for this moment. Often we may feel unprepared or inadequate when we face these new opportunities, but God's timing and preparation are always perfect. The experiences, struggles, and lessons you've learned up until this point have been preparing you for the doors that are now opening. These doors are a direct result of the growth and development that have taken place in your life. The skills, wisdom, and strength you've gained will enable you to walk through these doors with confidence and to fulfill the purpose that God has for you. As you begin to walk through the open doors God has set before you, remember to keep your eyes on Him. These doors are a sign of His faithfulness and love for you, but they also require you to remain rooted in His presence. The breakthrough you're experiencing is a result of God's guidance and favor, and as you continue to step forward, trust that He will continue to lead you through each new door He opens. Every open door brings you closer to the fullness of God's plan for your life, and the blessings that await are more than you could have ever imagined. When your breakthrough is near, one of the most significant signs is a sudden and undeniable surge in your faith. You begin to notice that your belief in God's promises strengthens in ways you may not have anticipated. You start to feel a renewed sense of confidence, not in your own abilities, but in God's power and faithfulness. Your faith begins to rise above the doubts and fears that may have once held you back, and you find yourself standing on the firm foundation of His Word. This increase in faith isn't something you can manufacture on your own. It is the work of the Holy Spirit within you, preparing your heart for the breakthrough that is about to happen. In the moments leading up to your breakthrough, you may find that the situations that once seemed impossible now seem like opportunities waiting to be seized. The obstacles that you previously saw as mountains are now viewed as stepping stones. Your faith begins to shift your perspective, allowing you to see things from God's viewpoint rather than from your own limited understanding. You begin to believe that, despite the challenges, God is more than able to bring you through to victory. This surge in faith is not simply wishful thinking or blind optimism, it's a deep-rooted trust in God's character, His Word, and His promises. One of the key ways this surge in faith manifests is in your ability to believe for bigger things. As your faith grows, you begin to dream bigger dreams, expect greater things, and trust God for more than you thought possible. You stop limiting God to what you can understand or see with your natural eyes, and you start to believe that with God, all things are possible. This renewed faith enables you to step out of your comfort zone and take bold actions, even in the face of uncertainty. You may feel a stirring in your spirit that propels you forward, pushing you to take steps you wouldn't have considered before. It's a faith that fuels your courage, urging you to move forward into the unknown with the confidence that God is with you. As your faith increases, you may also begin to see your prayers becoming more powerful and effective. The more you believe in God's ability to answer your prayers, the more your prayers shift from mere requests to declarations of God's promises. You begin to speak with authority, declaring His will over your life, your circumstances, and your future. Your prayers move from a place of uncertainty to a place of confident expectation, knowing that God is not only listening but is actively at work behind the scenes, preparing your breakthrough. This surge in faith brings with it a sense of urgency, as you realize that God is aligning everything for your good, and your role is to stay in agreement with His will through prayer and action. This increase in faith also brings a deeper sense of peace and rest. As your belief in God's promises strengthens, you no longer feel the need to strive or fight for the things you desire. You understand that the breakthrough is not dependent on your efforts alone, but on God's perfect timing and provision. The peace that comes from knowing God is in control frees you from the pressure to make things happen. When you begin to experience a sense of divine rest and peace, despite your circumstances, it is one of the clearest signs that your breakthrough is near. This peace is not based on the external situation, but on a deep inner assurance that everything is under control because God is in charge. In the midst of chaos, uncertainty, or even waiting periods, you find a profound sense of stillness in your spirit. It is a peace that transcends understanding, one that surpasses human logic or reasoning, and it comes from knowing that God's timing is perfect and His plan for you is unfolding exactly as it should. Often, when we are on the brink of a breakthrough, we tend to get anxious, worried, or overwhelmed by the unknowns. We may start to question if we're on the right path or if God is truly working in our favor. But when your breakthrough is near, God will grant you a peace that settles your spirit. This peace is not about the absence of challenges, but the assurance that God is in control of every situation you are facing. You are no longer trying to figure things out on your own or worrying about how things will unfold. Instead, you rest in the knowledge that God is working behind the scenes, orchestrating every detail of your life to bring about the breakthrough He has promised you. In these moments, your faith is elevated, and your trust in God's sovereignty deepens. You no longer rely on your own understanding or strength to navigate through the challenges, because you recognize that God has already gone before you. He has already paved the way, and your role is to simply trust and rest in His provision. This divine peace allows you to surrender the outcome to God, knowing that whatever happens, it is all part of His perfect plan. You are able to release your concerns and anxieties to Him, and in return, He fills your heart with a peace that quiets your mind and calms your spirit. This peace often comes when we stop trying to control the situation and instead start surrendering it fully to God. We may have been striving, struggling, and trying to make things happen on our own, but when God is about to bring us into a season of breakthrough, He will gently remind us that it's not by our might or power, but by His Spirit. This peace is a reminder that God's ways are higher than ours, and His understanding far exceeds our own. We may not always know how or when our breakthrough will come, but we can rest in the fact that God does, and that is more than enough. Another aspect of this peace is the ability to see beyond the present moment and focus on the greater purpose that God is working out in your life. Instead of getting bogged down by temporary setbacks or delays, you begin to see them as part of the bigger picture. This shift in perspective brings peace because you understand that everything you are going through is contributing to your growth and preparation for the breakthrough that is coming. You realize that God is using every experience, every challenge, and even every season of waiting to refine you, build your character, and align you with His will. As you rest in this peace, you also begin to experience a sense of alignment with God's will for your life. The more you surrender to His plan, the more you feel a deep sense of connection with His purpose. You may start to see things from a new perspective. Doors that once seemed closed begin to open. Opportunities that once seemed out of reach now seem attainable. You begin to trust that the timing of everything is in God's hands, and as you walk forward in faith, that peace continues to guide you. This peace is also closely tied to the idea of trusting in God's provision. When God is preparing you for a breakthrough, He will provide everything you need in His perfect timing. The peace you feel comes from knowing that God has already made a way for you, even if you can't see it yet. You may not have all the answers and the full picture may not be clear, but you trust that God is faithful to provide for you every step of the way. The more you rely on Him, the more His peace fills your heart, knowing that He will never leave you or forsake you. In the midst of a breakthrough, peace becomes a protective shield. It guards your heart and mind from fear, anxiety, and doubt. When you face challenges or setbacks, this peace helps you to remain calm and focused, knowing that your circumstances do not define your future. Your breakthrough is already in motion, and this peace helps you to stay grounded in the promise that it will come to pass. It allows you to walk forward with confidence and hope, no matter how uncertain things may seem in the present moment. As you experience this peace, you will also notice that your emotional and mental state becomes more stable. The turmoil and unrest that once ruled your thoughts begin to dissipate, replaced by a sense of serenity and calm. You are no longer tossed back and forth by the winds of worry or fear. Instead, you stand firm in the knowledge that God is with you, guiding you every step of the way. This peace empowers you to move forward, knowing that God's presence is with you, and His promise of breakthrough is sure. This divine peace serves as both a sign and a preparation for what is to come. It is a sign that your breakthrough is near because, in the midst of it all, God is reassuring you that everything is under His control. As you step into the new season that He has prepared for you, this peace will continue to be your anchor, grounding you in His love, faithfulness, and provision. It will be a constant reminder that God is at work in your life, even when you can't see all the details yet. As we reflect on the signs of a breakthrough that is nearing, it becomes clear that God is always at work behind the scenes, orchestrating every moment of our lives. The surge in faith, the alignment of circumstances, the divine shifts in our hearts, and the peace that surpasses understanding are all markers that God is positioning us for something greater. Our breakthrough isn't just an event, it's a culmination of God's timing, preparation, and perfect plan for our lives. When you sense that your breakthrough is near, recognize these signs and allow them to strengthen your trust in God. Understand that while challenges and delays may come, they are not signs of failure but of divine preparation. Your breakthrough is not just about a change in circumstances, it's about a transformation in your spirit, in your trust, and in your understanding of God's infinite power and wisdom. So hold fast to these signs, remain patient, and keep your focus on Him. Your breakthrough is inevitable because it is part of God's plan for your life. And in the right time, you will experience the fulfillment of His promises. Keep trusting, keep believing, and remember that nothing can stop God's plans for you.